All right, what's going on, Coach Launch crew? Hope you're doing well. I'm just going to jam with you a little bit. Constant question I get, how vulnerable should I be? How much should I share on with my content, with my audience, and with potential clients? And what should I be doing publicly? And so I wanted to jam on that a little bit. So I'm going to share this into the group, into the Coach Launcher group. If you aren't in there yet, you want to hop in there. Such a ton of free information, lots of training in there. So bear with me a moment as I share this. Artie, what's going on, brother? And then I'm going to do a little deep dive about how much do I actually share with my audience in terms of vulnerability. Three things to help you determine how much you share and what you share. So let me just pull this up. Let me post it in the group and we'll get rolling. Again, that's the Coach Launcher group. Tons of free information in there. And there you have it. Now I'm going to pop in there so I can see what people are saying and interact with you all. So yeah, what do I share? What don't I share? Some common mistakes people make, and it's understandable. And I'm going to help you clear them up when we're done with this conversation. You will have enough information to move forward. You'll have enough information to know what you should be sharing, what you shouldn't be sharing, and why. The why is really important too. So just let me, there we go. All right, excuse me. So, all right, we got 4 peeps here. If you would please let me know if you can hear me. First of all, like when I pop these up, sounds like I'm heard, but I am confirmed when you let me know. So that would be fantastic. And then we're gonna roll. So 3 tips for new coaches on how vulnerable you need to be and what to share in your content. And let me just preface all of this by saying you need to be authentically you. You are not another coach. You're not a person. You're not the gurus that you follow. Okay? Thanks, Artie. I appreciate that, brother. Give me a like, would you? Let other people in the group and other people on the business page know that something's going on. Preface all of this. You have to be authentically you. Do not lie. Do not mislead people. You will be so misaligned that it will actually suck some of the energy and suck some of the bandwidth out of what you're doing. Okay? So we always want to be authentic. We always want to be ourselves. We always want to be transparent with people. However, we don't share everything with everyone. We don't share everything with everyone. First of all, it's just not healthy. We have to have boundaries. We have to have these safe spaces that we feel. We have to have these safe spaces that we can relax into, right? So somebody that you trust, they probably help you create a safe space. That being said, when it comes to sharing your content, there does need to be an amount of vulnerability where you let people know that you're not a robot. You let people know that you do struggle with some things, right? So what to share and what not to share. First of all, it's always beneficial to share what you've been through and come on out the other side of and share what you learned from those experiences. Right? I share all the time what it was like launching my coaching business. I share the mistakes that I made when I was launching my coaching business. That's just really helpful for new coaches to understand. I share mistakes I've made in relationships and in work-life balance when I'm working with executive coaches, right? Before I knew how to prioritize my time, before I was using the Own Your Life Planner. I share that with executives so that they understand that I understand, right? That's really important. Okay, it's important for them to say, oh, there's somebody who had a problem and dealt with it, and they've learned to deal with it, and maybe they can help me deal with it. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. Okay, so that's the first thing you want to do, is you want to make sure that you are sharing something you've been through, a struggle, a challenge, you've come out on the other side of it, right? And you've gained experience, wisdom, knowledge, you've learned something, and you're there to share it with your people. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. That's the first thing. The second thing is, don't go through your stuff in public, and don't work it out in public. What do I mean by that? If you're having a difficult time, if you're struggling with an area of your life, please don't work it out on Facebook. Please don't work it out on Facebook. Okay? Why? Well, one, it's not healthy for you. Find some people that you trust and you know, right? Maybe it's a super private group, or maybe it's a family member, or maybe it's a friend that you trust, or maybe it's a church, or maybe it's in a community that you belong to. But don't work it out in public. It's not good for you, and it's not good for them. It's not good for you to be throwing up on people. Now, here's what I see new coaches, the mistake I see them make all the time. They make the mistake of thinking, oh, if I'm 100% vulnerable with my audience, that'll be different than anything anyone else has done, right? It'll make me so relatable. If I share all of my struggles with everybody on Facebook or on social media, people will really resonate with that. They will, but they won't come to you for advice because they see you working through the thing right now. And they see the mess. And it's messy. And that mess isn't for everyone. It's not. Any therapist will tell you, don't work your stuff out in public. Work it out in a safe space. It's not good for you, number one. Number two, it's not going to be good for your coaching business. It just won't be. It won't be good. If you're a relationship coach and you go live just bawling and talking about how no one loves you, and you don't understand, why anyone would, and you feel worthless, then you are not going to be able to help somebody. It's okay to feel those things. It's okay to go through those things. But don't make it public. Don't make it public. Do it with someone you trust in a safe space, right? This is just therapeutic principles 101, right? Because you going through the process is going to make you a better coach. But if that's all people remember about you, you won't actually be able to apply what you learned when you come out on the other side. Does that make sense? So you want to make sure that, one, the things you do share, stuff you've been through, challenges you've faced, you've come out on the other side, and you have some wisdom and some knowledge that you can share with other people right now, right? You want to share that. Don't go through your stuff. Don't work your stuff out in public. It's not fair to anybody. It's really not good to you, okay? Now, we always have problems. We always have issues. We always have things that we will be working through because we're always growing. When you don't have something to work through and to grow through, you're probably dead, right? Cindy says, need to make sure the words use matter, especially when you share on social media. Absolutely, right? Now, let me give you a really good example of what it means. I'm giving you a really good example of what it means to, not go work through your stuff in public. Let me give you an example of what it means to share past experiences, okay? There are things that challenge me in my business right now. It's awesome. This is how I grow. This means I'm alive. This is an incredible opportunity for me to face these challenges and move past them. You know what it isn't? It isn't enrolling my first 5, 10, 15, or 25 clients. That's not my challenge, right? It's not anywhere near my challenge. In fact, my challenge, it doesn't have much to do with enrolling clients. But I have had the challenge of how do I enroll my first 1, 5, 10, 20, 25, 30 clients. I've had that challenge. And I came through on the other side and I learned how. So I share that, and I share the struggles that I had when I was first starting out, because that's where my people are. My kind of people are in that place. I like helping new coaches. I've struggled through divorce and I came out on the other side much better. So that challenge I share about now, especially to help potential executive clients who are dealing with similar things, right? But I'm not going to share the stuff I'm going through right now publicly. That's just not healthy for me, right? Don't you do it. Here's one final one. Let me know if this is making sense for you all. And then here's one final thing. If you're a brand new coach, stop doing challenges, especially if the challenge is related to business. Here's what I mean by this. I see a bunch of new coaches. I'm doing the 25-day live challenge that another business coach has challenged them to try to get them into their program. So they engage with them. Hey, here's this free challenge. Do this free challenge. You'll enroll so many clients, blah, 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 blah. And what ends up happening is you're doing this challenge in front of people and you're saying, I don't have many clients. Don't do that, right? If you're a fitness coach, don't do a fitness challenge if it's going to make your potential clients go, does this person not know what they're doing when it comes to fitness? I'm getting serious now. Does that make sense? Right? If you're a financial advising coach, don't do a finance challenge that somebody else has put out there, right? If you're going to do something, you do a gratitude challenge or something like that, very ubiquitous, it's pretty general, and that's great, and that's fine. But when you do challenges as a brand new coach, okay, and every day you're going live because you need to figure out something in your own business that you're supposed to be coaching people on, it just says you don't know what you're doing as a coach. Some of you are going to disagree with me. That's okay. I'm telling you, I know how it looks because I see it. Create a challenge for people. That's what you should do instead, right? If you're a physical fitness coach, right? If you're a training coach, create your own challenge and put it out for people, right? If you're a dating coach, create your own challenge and put it out for people. If you're a financial advising coach, create your own challenge. Track your money for 30-day challenge. Do that. That's awesome. But don't participate in them, right? Any questions before we wrap up? I'm getting ready to cook dinner for myself, for my ferocious kids. They're on fire today. They have energy out the wazoo. Any questions before we wrap up? Hope you find this helpful. Put it to use. You have to be authentic. You need to be vulnerable, but don't work your stuff out in front of other people that you're currently going through. It's not healthy. It's not safe. Do share something you've already been through and come out on the other side of. And don't do challenges. Don't do other people's challenges, if that makes sense. Don't do other people's challenges if it has anything to do with your coaching business, okay? If you want to do a photography challenge and you've got nothing to do with photography, do that. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Take those photos and use them as content. Cindy, you're welcome. Glad you made it into the group. Love having you in the group. You've been really active. Fantastic. Love it. Any questions before we roll? Before I go out and start cooking some chicken, homemade mac and cheese, a little bit of filet mignon. I'm getting hungry just talking about what I'm going to cook. All right. No questions? Then we're going to wrap up. You're all awesome. Hope you continue to make it a great Tuesday. Homemade, Cindy. I like to put the little potato chip crunch on top because I come from a long line of truck drivers, and that's what we do. It's in my blood. Authentic and vulnerable. That's right, Rosalind. Trying to make you hungry, Artie. Victor, good to see you, brother. Rosalind, did you get the, I tagged you in a couple trainings. Did you get those? I hope so. All right. Everybody have a wonderful evening. I'm signing off for the night. Probably won't make another appearance. It is family time. Talk to you later.